Bond Jr. right now. You know what I'm doing? I'm sitting and enjoying peaceful and love. But right now it's almost winter, but right now it's fall. And you know what fall means? Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I have is a Thanksgiving book, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving by Charles M. He's the author and the illustrator by Charles M. This book you can borrow the book from the local library, or you can buy it at Target. But right now I borrow it. Now let's start. I'll get this. Let's get this, everyone. Okay, it's Thanksgiving and Charlie Brown's friend Lucy can't wait to celebrate. Charlie Brown, I hold this football and you kick it, Lucy says.
You can't fool me, says Charlie Brown. I come running up and you pull the football away like you always do.
But one of the best traditions is the Thanksgiving football game, says Lucy. And most important part is the kickoff. Charlie Brown thinks Lucy will let him kick the football if it's a holiday tradition. Here he goes. He runs toward the ball. He runs toward the football, not a soccer ball, but she pulls it away again. Whoop. Later, Charlie Brown is talking with his sister Sally and his friend Linus. Why shouldn't I give Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving? Sally asks. I haven't even finished eating my Halloween candy yet. Besides, all Thanksgiving does is make more work for us in school. Linus disagrees. Thanksgiving is a very important holiday, he explains. Ours was the first country in the world to make a national holiday to give thanks. Sally sighs and stares at loving Linus. Isn't he the cutest thing? Linus just rolls his eyes. What are you going to do on Thanksgiving? What are you going to do on Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown? Sally and I are going to grandmother's house for dinner, Charlie Brown says. As soon as they get back home, Charlie Brown gets a call from Peppermint Patty by Dad. Not by Dad. My dad. My dad said I could join you for Thanksgiving. She says I don't mind inviting myself over since I know you kind of like me, Chuck. Charlie Brown tries to explain that he is going to his grandmother's house for dinner, but Peppermint Patty keeps talking over him. Talking over him means that you actually interrupt cutting people. That's bad, but you need to learn the lesson on that one, guys. Because you don't want to cut people. Wait for their turn. By the way, I told Marco and Franklin about the big turkey dinner you're having, so you can count on 3 for dinner. Peppermint Patty has invited herself, Marco, and Franklin over to the Thanksgiving dinner, and I am not even going to be home. Charlie Brown goes to Linus. Linus has an idea. You can have 2 dinners. Cook the first one for your friends and then go to your grandmother's house with your family for the second one. Let's continue, everyone. But there's one flaw to Linus' plan. Charlie Brown doesn't know how to cook. He's younger. That was he doesn't know because only adults can cook. Then all I can make is cold cereal and toast. Charlie Brown admits Linus isn't discouraged. Maybe we could help, he says. Snoopy, go out to the garage and get a table for the backyard. Snoopy salutes. Salutes is like like the soldier. Linus gets to work. Snoopy and Woodstock find an old ping pong table, and they bring it outside. Then Snoopy sets up the chairs around the table. This is my favorite part, everyone. This is my favorite part. Lawn chairs, beach chairs, rocking chairs, enough for everyone. And actually, this chair I believe I see is an airport chair, because airport chairs are actually stick together. Like, they stick together. And there's like 3 seats already. Alright, enough for everyone. To top it off, they had a pretty tablecloth. Ooh, pretty. Set the table and even fold the napkins for each place setting. Now the table is ready. Snoopy and Woodstock, Charlie Brown and Linus start to make Thanksgiving dinner. Linus and Charlie Brown set up the toasters and put slices of bread. Once the bread is toasted, Snoopy butters all the pieces and stacks them on a serving platter. While Linus and Charlie Brown get popcorn and jelly bean pretzels, this is not a good Thanksgiving dinner on this part. Pretzels. Snoopy and Woodstock disappear for a minute. Disappear for what? And then they return dressed up like pilgrims. Charlie Brown isn't impressed. This is my favorite part, everyone. This is my favorite part. How can you serve the food in that ridiculous outfit? Ridiculous outfit, he scolded Snoopy. The guests will be here soon. The Snoopy sighs and reaches for his chef's hat. As with anger from Charlie Brown. Wow, what a mean voice. Soon Peppermint, Patty, Margot, and Franklin arrive and follow Charlie Brown out to the big table in the backyard. It's time for dinner. Snoopy is about to serve the guests when Peppermint Patty cuts in. Shouldn't we say grace first? She asks. Linda stands up. Oh, here we go. In the year 1621. Wow, 1621. A year ago before it comes to 2020. Wow, that's a long time ago right there. The Pilgrims had their first Thanksgiving feast, he begins. Elder William Brewster, who was a minister, said a prayer that went something like this. We thank God for our homes and food and our safely in a new land. We thank God for the opportunity to create a new world for freedom and justice. Amen, Peppermint Patty says. Snoopy lifts the lid off a big platter and reviews the feast. Freshly popped popcorn, colorful jelly beans, satiny pretzel sticks, and a stack of hot butter toast. Dun, 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 dun. He loads up each guest's plate and sends in selling over to them. Peppermint Patty frowns. What kind of Thanksgiving dinner is this? Where's the turkey cranberry sauce and the pumpkin pie? Chuck, she asks Charlie Brown, don't you know anything about Thanksgiving dinners? What a blockhead made all this. She throws down her popcorn in disgust. Wow, what a mean voice, just like Charlie Brown from earlier. Dun 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 dun, let's go. Snoopy pulls his chef's hat down over his face. Down over his face. Snoopy. I can't believe I can see that. And Charlie Brown gets up and walks away from the table. You were kind of rough on Charlie Brown, Marco says to Peppermint Patty. Rough? Peppermint Patty shouts. We were supposed to be serving real Thanksgiving dinner. But did he invite you here? Marco asks. Or did you invite yourself and us too? Peppermint Patty thinks for a minute. She knows Marco is right. Marco, maybe you can go to Chuck and patch things up for me. Marco isn't sure that's a good idea. I think maybe you should go to Chuck and tell him yourself, she says. I just ruined everything. You can go speak for me. Back in the house, Marco finds Charlie Brown in the living room looking upset. Peppermint Patty didn't mean all those things, she said. Marco tells him, actually, she really likes you. I'm just sorry I ruined everyone's Thanksgiving, he knows. But Marco knows Charlie Brown is missing the point. Thanksgiving isn't just about eating, she says. We should be thankful for being together. That's what Thanksgiving is all about. Peppermint Patty sneaks up behind two of them. Apologies accepted? She asks, offering to shake hands with Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown smiles and shakes her hand. Just then the clock chimes. Good grief, Charlie Brown cries. It's 4 o'clock! Dun, 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 dun. He and Sally are supposed to be at grandmother's house in a half an hour. Charlie Brown picks up the phone and dials his grandmother's number. Charlie Brown starts to tell his grandmother that they'd be late for dinner because their friends haven't eaten yet. But after a minute, he breaks into a huge grin. Everyone, Charlie Brown, Sally, Franklin, Linus, Peppermint Patty, and Marco is invited to be Thanksgiving dinner at the grandmother's house. Oh, that was quiet. I mean, not quiet, but I almost ran out of breath. Peppermint Patty runs into the backyard. We're all invited to Charlie Brown's grandmother's for Thanksgiving dinner, she cries. Everyone cheers. After the gang piles into the car, they settle into their seats and wave goodbye to Snoopy and Woodstock. Isn't there an old song about going to grandmother's house? Marco asks. Peppermint Patty nods, and all the kids start to sing over the river through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Last page, everyone, then we're done. Back at the Snoopy's doghouse, Snoopy and Woodstock put finishing touches on their own Thanksgiving dinner with the pumpkin pie for dessert. Thanksgiving is always special, especially when you celebrate it with your friends. The end, everyone. Good night, and I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, stay success. Bye, and